Hey guys, I'm back for episode 2 of the Nightwing Prodigal producer commentary. Let's do this. Episode 2, Mad Love. So we kick off right where we left off with Nightwing in trouble with Poison Ivy and Solomon Grundy here. So this was a rough fight scene to shoot, and actually when Pete punched me in the chest there, the zipper sliced my chest open, so it was actually bleeding from the chest from this scene. It was a rough day shooting that one. It was probably 3 in the morning at that time, I'm sure. Cool visual effects shot of the smoke effect, which was great. Gets me away from Poison Ivy on the mission to find out what's going on with Batman. Of course, back to this great visual effects intro from JD Buzz. We're right into episode 2. Just had to get a couple of shirtless scenes in the show, of course. When you're training hard, you got to show the world what you're working on here. It'd be a disservice to not have some shirtless scenes in this show. He hates the Boy Wonder nickname, that's it. It's not Robin anymore, Nightwing now. And of course, a reference to Jason Todd. Later becomes the Red Hood in the comics. You actually saw both costumes in the back there as well. So the Court of Owls, I really wanted to include them in the series. Big fan of the Scott Snyder Court of Owls New 52 run, one of my favorite comics ever made. I thought that was a really cool storyline to include, and again, at the time, something that had never been done in live action before. So I thought, if you're looking at sort of an overarching villain of the series, it'd be fun to include some of these villains that we see in the show, but a lot of them had already been done in live action before, or covered a lot in the cartoons. At the time, the Court of Owls had not been done, so I loved the way that they kind of weaved that into the Gotham mythology. I don't even remember where we got that exterior shot. Now, this is actually back at my friend Dave's house, who talked about that in episode 1. Of course, Teresa, we established that it was her party in the first episode. This is actually back at his house, daytime. That's actually Dave's dog, and that's actually my wife, who did the costumes for the show, and definitely did not want to be in the show, but I made her grab the dog and walk through the shot, so you don't actually see her face, but forced her to be an extra that day. And then this is a gym that was actually right next door to the warehouse that we shot most of the show at. I was saying in the last episode, we built most of the sets in one warehouse, and this gym was actually right next door, I believe, out in Richmond, BC. Maybe Langley, BC. I can't remember exactly. Langley or Richmond, somewhere like that. Set up a hot date between Teresa and Nightwing and Dick. Some cool computer effects on the screen that JD did as well. And here we go, our first shot of Harley Quinn. So this is Maddie Phillips, who of course has gone on to become a big star, starring in Teenage Bounty Hunters on Netflix. Amazing actress. I actually trained with her in acting class, and the first time I ever saw her in class, I was like, she needs to play Harley Quinn. She's got the perfect voice and mannerisms and everything for it. So we had her come in as Harley. And Florence, actually, who plays Oracle, actually did class. I was in class with her as well. and same thing, thought she was just a super talented actress, and wanted to cast her as Oracle. So both of these actresses actually came in and auditioned for the roles, but you know, I knew that they were kind of the best ones for them, and of course they crushed their auditions as well. So this was a funny scene to do, and this is actually the same set where we did all of Oracle's shots. We rebuilt this as Harley's lair later, so a lot of set design. And I believe that the girl on the bed, I believe was a friend of the director's, was a model, and we thought it'd be funny to have Harley have a victim kind of tied up in the back while this scene was going on. And the giant stick with the thing on the end here, kind of a reference to Harley's giant hammer in the cartoons. We went with kind of a look from the Arkham games. We were sort of back and forth on some of the characters, some of them looking more like the cartoon, some looking more like the Arkham series. We loved the designs in both of those.
I'm gonna come back here, and then you'll go back to Arkham Asylum for good. Thank you so much.
And yeah, Harley's just so much fun. I feel like, you know, not a pure evil villain or anything, just like a lot of fun in the show. And then this was really funny. Asks her, of course, if she wants to be saved. And no, she's having fun with Harley. The giant mallet. Great scene, Harley Quinn, one of my favorites. Again, another shot we stole downtown Vancouver. Oracle's clock tower.
But I really don't think she's lying. The Joker wouldn't hire either. Gets off on doing dirty work himself.
You realize that her boy toy, the Joker, is the man that killed Jason, don't you?
Yes, I know.
Another Jason Todd reference. Of course, we don't see the Joker in this show at all. I didn't want to touch that character. I just felt like, you know, Heath Ledger had done such a great job, and I wasn't sure that, you know, he would be able to really do that character justice. I also felt like it would kind of take away from Nightwing's story to actually see the Joker at all in this. I felt like he's such a Batman-centric villain. A lot of these villains are more Batman-centric, but I feel like the Joker especially is like, you know, Batman's main villain, so I didn't want to touch him, but it did feel like we should maybe mention him, because obviously Batman's missing. Prime suspect might be the Joker, and we're going to use Harley, so I felt like it was cool to reference him. And of course we got that shot from the original trailer, which was an homage to a great panel from the Killing Joke comic book. Great little scene with Dick and Barbara here. A lot of history. We wanted to make sure that even though we were sort of diving into the middle of this, that we referenced their history together. Obviously, they're both a little bit older at this time, you know, late 20s, early 30s. We treated this like a comic book mini-series in the sense of like it's 4 issues of an ongoing series. So, you know, the 4 issues contained are going to have their own storyline, but this is part of an ongoing sort of world of Gotham, Batman. Of course, they go in for the kiss and get interrupted by our man, the Riddler, played by Camden Filtness. Amazing actor. Great choice for the Riddler. Fantastic guy. Again, he's gone on to do a bunch of movies and shows. You might have seen him in some other stuff before. We really wanted to give the Riddler a bit of an edge. Again, some cool visual effects stuff there. Was fun to create some actual riddles for the show with our man Edward Nigma here. Really love the makeup done by our makeup artist Lindsay. It was fantastic. Really cool design, kind of unique to the show. And of course, our man Riddler has a hostage here, and this is Robin. And to be clear, to clarify, we went with Tim Drake, Robin. We wanted to we referenced Jason earlier in the show, and we didn't want to touch on Damien yet. We felt like he would be very young, if not maybe not born yet at this time. Again, we're playing in our own timeline, so people can debate what they think about that, but we were sort of creating our own timeline here. So that's a Tim Drake Robin. So awesome episode. I will come back and do episode 3 called Riddle Me This.